Well, everyone, our affirmative action policies have kicked in, and it's time for our quarterly female guest. Everybody, ladies and gentlemen, whatever you are, we have the very wonderful Nikki Glaser on the show today. Nikki, please, come on in.
Woo!
Oh, there it is, yeah.
Oh
Live audience, wow.
Oh my God,
that
it's
live
so
audience?
nice to be here. Even this sofa's made for a man. It kind of is, actually. I don't even know what that meant when I said it. But I just went to the bathroom. You guys have tampons in there? No, you don't. You had a scale, though.
Yeah.
That was weird.
Yeah.
And you had made me clock in my weight.
Yeah.
That just felt rude.
Well, it just lets us know, you know.
I actually did that joke on Barstool once because that's like
Yeah.
what everyone says about that is it's true. And I said that I go, you guys have a scale, and I got to say it here. I'm ruining it now because you guys thought that was original in the moment, but
No, it's fine.
it was a recycled joke that they took out because they were like, we don't want you to. I'm like, you got to make fun of the fact.
Oh yeah, come on.
That what you are. Like you guys are making fun of it. Am I? You're not your first.
So they actually had a scale in the bathroom?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, no, they weigh all the girls and then
Yeah,
the ones that
Like, you can't joke about it because it's true.
Yeah.
Right?
And that is like the problem with it is that you believed it.
Yeah.
Like it's so something that could happen there that
Dude, it's like an MMA weigh-in, you know? If the girls are overweight, they make them get naked, they put the towel in front.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
got the commissioner out there.
face to face.
Yeah.
And you gotta cut weight.
Yeah.
Man, wrestling, you guys are into that, right?
Yeah.
Cutting weight. Did you wrestle in like high school or anything like that?
No, I just like watching guys beat the shit out of each other.
It's tough though. They all have eating disorders after it.
Yeah.
Like they all have I grew up with eating disorders and like whenever I meet a wrestler, I'm like, we've been through the same thing.
Yeah.
Like they all have like teenage girl eating disorders.
Wait,
Because of cutting weight?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
they've
pretty
all
intense.
and being obsessed with every little pound and because it's got kind of the same thing as like being a teenage girl with it, but trying to obsess over like if I get to this number, I'll qualify for this group of girls to hang out with or whatever it is.
Damn, that's
But
crazy.
on to lighter stuff.
To answer your
racism.
question, yeah. No, we could do that. We could definitely. Yeah, what do you think I am?
Oh, really?
Be racist for a second.
Can I?
Yeah.
I mean, you asked me to. Okay. Cambodian?
Wow.
Like half? Cambodian?
That's the most advanced answer I've received in a long time.
Really?
And I
Do
will
people
tell
just
you
go kinda...
that is I actually don't know. He's never told me his race. So I'm actually not sure if that's right or not.
Yeah.
You guys haven't been sponsored by 23andMe yet and shared your results?
No,
but that's
I'm
what
waiting.
we're waiting for.
I'm waiting.
We're holding out for that.
I'm waiting.
Exactly. What are you?
I don't. It's a fun meme. We don't really say.
He's never said.
Oh, you've never said.
No.
But I was not right.
No.
We can eliminate Cambodia.
Or were you right?
Or were you?
Well, this makes it so it's not racist because I
Yes.
could have been exactly dead on.
Yeah.
I can tell I wasn't though.
What am I?
Irish,
No.
Canadian.
Yes.
No, he's rich. He's very rich. He's very rich.
Oh, I very rich.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's get that
He
right.
doesn't shy away from that at all.
What's up, guys? This is the TMG podcast. This is today's free episode. If you want this episode ad-free and an extra bonus episode, you can find that right now on our website, tmgstudios.tv. Sign up for a membership now at tmgstudios.tv. And if not, then enjoy this one. Holy fuck, Jamie! Can we get a clip of that deer him getting hit by that car?
The mystery of the flying saucers may soon be solved.
If you've never smoked weed at literal Woodstock, you're not a stoner. Goodbye.
The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc has been found and is now in the possession of the Army.
I'm gay as fuck. I'm trying to get my arse eaten.
The so-called flying saucer.
Look at all these fucking chickens. Malone Brown, you hear this hole? No. Malone Brown dick in your mouth? No!
Please look at all the signs. Fasten your seatbelt and get ready for debate.
You know this guy wore Dior last week.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, are you new rich or did
No,
you grow
no,
up
they
kind of
sent it.
rich?
I didn't buy it.
See, they sent
then
it to him.
that's
He doesn't
even
even have
more
to
rich.
buy
That's-
it.
yeah.
Not. No way. How is that rich?
When you don't have to buy it, that's the paradox.
I had
Like
to give
when
it
you
back.
get rich enough to afford or famous enough to afford things, you don't have to buy anything anymore.
Yeah, but I had to
This
give
is-
it back. I didn't get to keep it.
Wait, you had to give it back?
Yes, that's what they do. They send it so that you wear it on whatever you're going to do, and then you have to give it back the
Right.
next morning. They send a messenger. And they're
Oh.
like,
Well, that's
you
what
had fun cosplaying as someone cool. Now give that shit.
Did you have stylists set this up?
Yeah.
Okay, because I have stylists too, but you pay them.
I paid the stylist.
And that's what happens to me too. I get you pay thousands of dollars, which is worth it because they know what they're doing, and I don't know what I'm doing. But then you have to give the outfit back, and no one knows that.
Well, they
you don't get to keep any of it.
Originally, he got a suit from Balenciaga, but they found out he was too old, so they.
I was in my head trying to figure out that meme of like all the equations was happening in my head right now, trying to make that joke.
So they sent it to me instead.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh, no, he made the
against
suit."
Cody is really funny.
You said what?
2 stand-ups against Cody. Is
Yeah,
very
this
funny.
is really good.
Yeah.
Well,
Cody, you don't do stand up?
No.
No. I mean, I do it, but I hesitate to give myself the seal of approval.
Why?
I didn't come up through the club, so I feel
Who
like
cares?
I don't know, man.
No, you're in. You're
Okay,
in. Like
thank
there's no initiation. I feel like people
Schultz
get
said
so
the same thing.
right, and when Schultz isn't a comedian either, so he.
Andrew, she said it, not me.
No, he's not watching this. So.
I know. I have text that prove otherwise.
No, he's definitely watching. No, Schultz is.
Well, we
Schultz
said
is
his name,
legit.
so he's definitely watching now.
Yeah, he has some algorithm that finds his name.
His ears right now.
He's often sent things about like the Peanuts characters because the guy that wrote it was Schultz. Okay,
Got
so that's a deep cut. But no, he's right. Schultz is right. Is that it doesn't matter. I think there's so much snobbery with stand-ups, and like even when I was coming up with stand-up, I felt like I couldn't call myself a stand-up until I got on Last Comic Standing, because then it was like, okay, you can't be on the show until you're a comic. There's all these, and then if you take a comedy class, you're not really a comedian, or like you didn't start in clubs. How did you start?
I mean, I grinded open mics for like 3 years, so I guess it's like pretty much the same thing.
That's it, dude.
Yeah,
And I don't know. People ask me how to start now. You go on Instagram Live and perform for 2 people. You go on TikTok, however you want to start, like putting it out there, performing, getting in front of people, whether it's you alone in your room. I don't care at all. It can. I don't know, but people are so snobby because club comics are poor and they're jealous of you guys who are making lots of money doing it other ways. And so they like to go, there's this, you can never get in our club.
Right,
But I'm sure, so how long you been doing it?
Well, I did it for like 2-3 years before.
You
and I
can't
started
call
working
yourself
together.
that.
Yeah.
Oh, never mind everything you just said.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
No, you
that
can
doesn't
call
count.
yourself it after like, I would say like 5 times doing it. You can be like, I'm a comic.
Yeah. Then we toured together for a year, and then.
So I've been on stage. Like we've done like
Clearly.
a lot of shows together, but
Yeah.
I wouldn't call myself a comedian, legit, like because I just like
stand up, because you.
yeah, because I've never like performed alone. I have,
That's
but like
insane.
for open mics and shit, not like actually.
Wait, you've done open mics though?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
done stand up on open mics?
I
Oh,
dragged
then
him to
you-
his first open mic. It was great.
Were you addicted to it though? Like, did you?
No, I
catch
didn't
the
get
bug?
that.
Yeah.
I was just scared of it the whole time. Even when we toured, I was scared every single time. Before we went out, I was shitting my pants.
Yeah.
And then I would have this crazy like adrenaline like nerve crash like afterwards, and it was just like this
It was really-
cycle of like
Yes.
I just didn't enjoy it, you know.
I've still been on the road for the last like year and change, but it'd be really funny when we had our first. So we went to St. Louis.
Yeah.
And we have this like fucking scar of a show where it was like a St. Louis crowd. So they were just fucking jabbering the whole time.
Drunk,
Yeah.
not really knowing how to behave.
Well, they were just.
Oh yeah, that was
No.
rough.
And then
Where was it?
what's
Pageant?
Multi-level
that pageant?
The pageant.
I think so.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. That's a good venue. Good job,
Yeah.
guys.
Thank you. But so it was a lot of crowd work and like trying to shut the crowd down. And then at some point, Cody just like kind of just looked over. He's like, "All right, go at it." And we got into the green room after, and he's like, "I know how the fuck you deal with that, man. That was a lot."
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like when you lose control of them and when they aren't listening and you feel, or you just,
I can't. That shuts me down.
it
I
should.
can't like.
Yeah, it should. That's a normal reaction.
is.
And you're like, oh no, fuck, it's war now.
Did you,
And I'm like,
did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I burned them all down.
But you won. Won them over, right?
Yeah.
That that makes you feel good. But like, we all watched that Bill Burr clip of him in Philly.
Yeah,
Have you ever seen that? Of like where
course,
he's
yeah.
doing the countdown,
Yeah.
and that's like what we all dream of, having that moment of just like fuck all of you and just going off. But last night actually, I was at the Laugh Factory, and a guy went up before me, and some heckler just. The guy was doing well too. Everyone liked him, and then some heckler was just like, "You don't make as much money as me. Like you don't get girls like I do." Like just wasn't even listening to the guy, but then just came at him. And this was a nice guy on stage, and And I had never seen a comic do this, but he pulled the classic hack joke out of like, man, I don't come to your work and knock the dicks out of your mouth. And I'd never heard, I thought that was just a thing that it was a thing we all agreed we don't say, but like.
I've heard that before, but it hit just as hard.
It's funny. It worked. And I go, I should, there's stock lines that get you out of it. But the funny part is that he recovered and he looked like, from the outside, you could not tell that he was shaken by it at all. But he immediately, after this interaction and kind of like going like, it didn't really work. And he was just kind of like, okay, so, I'm from Iran. And like, he gets back into his act. And then he takes off his jean jacket immediately because he starts overheating. Like, I've been there before
poor
too.
Guy.
You get this surge of adrenaline that makes you overheat.
Yeah.
So you start the flop sweat thing. And it's like, but he looked so cool and comfortable on the outside. And I've been that way before too. Even when, that's the weird thing about stand-up that I don't like is I don't like when it's performative, when you're like freaking out in your head and you're having to say something other than what you're thinking. And I think the best stand-up is when you're able to let loose and just say exactly what you mean in the moment. I hate those awkward moments of like, you say something weird to someone and they're like, I remember one time a woman like, I thought she raised her hand to ask a question, but she just had like cerebral palsy. And I was just like, man. And then I was just like, oh, and like, what do you do? Like, and so
God.
The flop sweat, I'm like taking off the tiny tank top I have. Like I just anything to get me out of this. And then
just getting naked on stage to change the vibe.
So it was just so awkward and like there's just nowhere for you. I at that point I'm drowning in my thoughts of I'm a bad person, I'm gonna get canceled, I hurt this person's feelings, and you can't think clearly in that moment. But I'd like to try in those times. My goal is always to like, if a joke bombs or something, I say something awkward, is just stop and say like, what is true? Like, what's true? That's going to get me out of it. Acknowledge the elephant in the room, which is like, well, this woman has, I think, cerebral palsy? What, can you tell me what happened? And one time it did happen, I got into something where I was talking about people in wheelchairs. I had a joke, and this woman again heckled me, and I go, "What's going on?" And I asked her. I think my joke was like, "It's funny that you see a dog with wheels for legs, and you're like, oh my God, look at you! What happened to this widow puppy?" But you can't do that with people in a wheelchair. You can't be like, "Oh my God, what happened to you?"
Yeah.
But it's like, why not? Why can't you say that? Because it's clear that they're, disabled.
Did you get hit by a car?
Yeah. Oh, why didn't they just put you down?
Yeah.
You went to Iraq.
Yeah.
Oh.
But it turns out, I don't want to speak for disabled people because I can't. But I do think that it is weird that we just like see a person in a wheelchair and we have to be like, nothing's different. And just like, and we like look above them like, you're up here. I'm not even going to look down because I don't want to acknowledge the thing that's. So I think that sometimes she even said, and she was like, I love when people ask me. I'm like, so if I saw you at the grocery store, I could just straight up go like, what happened to you? And she's like, yeah. And I was like, then what happened to you? And she's like, I fell off a motorcycle. And I was like, oh shit. And then she was like, my boyfriend's motorcycle.
You?
I do.
Motorcycle?
Oh, are you a rescue? And I go, she goes, my boyfriend was driving, and I was like, like I didn't want to ask, but she was like, and I'm like, and she was like, and I was like, and he was just getting drinks for them.
Oh.
She pointed up, and I was like, oh, okay, good.
God bless his soul.
Oh my God.
I know.
Hey guys, we want to take a quick break to thank the sponsor of today's episode, Smart News. Getting your news from a single source or trying to wade through the chaos of social media to find accurate information can be frustrating and fruitless. Smart News offers the solution to misinformation and information overload by evaluating stories, articles, and publishing partners to deliver the news that matters most from all sides of the aisle.
With Smart News, you can stay informed and ready to talk about the news with anyone, from coworkers to family. Yep, even that uncle you see once a year during the holidays. Discover news you need to live smarter, all in one app. Smart News scans stories, analyzes headlines, and partners with respected publishers to deliver information that helps you live smarter. Say goodbye to information overload and hello to saving time and getting straight to the news that you care about. Like, what is up with that skateboarding platypus?
Platypus?
Platypus. Easily personalize your feed by following top publishers. adjusting notifications, and getting alerts in your area all in one app. Hey, skateboarding platypus at your skate park.
Smart News has big stories from top publications to keep you in the know on everything from breaking global and national news to real-time local alerts and personalized feeds for sports fans, including that skateboarding platypus.
Oh, you gotta love him.
That thing is so cute. I love using Smart News. It's easy to navigate, includes a ton of great features, and only displays articles from trusted publishers that are fully vetted. I downloaded the app on my phone and use it every day to make sure I'm staying on top of what is going on.
Smart News aggregates local and global stories from trusted publishers so you can stay informed on what matters most to you. From local weather to trending TV shows, all in one app. What the heck is going on with reality TV stars these days? They deliver breaking news from major publishers in one place. Plus, the stories are updated every few minutes to get the most up-to-date information. Users can personalize their news app by following publishers they trust, discovering new topics, setting notifications, and seeing the news from all sides.
Download Smart News for free today in the App Store to get the news that matters the most. That's SmartNews. Search for it in the Apple App Store for your iPhone or iPad, or Google Play Store for Android users. A news app made smarter. Discover the all-in-one platform that delivers all the information you need.
Another time I asked a woman, I was talking about tattoos or something, and I go, who has tattoos here? And this woman raises her hand, and I go, what's yours? And she said, it's my baby's footprints or whatever. And I go, oh, how old? And she was like, he's gone. And I'm like, why would you bring this up? Where do I go with that? I mean, God love you for bringing it up.
I swallowed some as well. I don't know.
Yeah.
If I was a girl, that's me as a girl comedian.
Nice, dude. Nice.
I
man.
eat kids too. Sorry.
It
Come
can
on,
just be.
So I'm sorry.
But you bombed before, right?
Yeah,
You bombed, like that
definitely.
last line.
Yeah.
Like you.
Yeah, exactly. Just like that. Yeah.
No, I've had a couple stinkers already. Like you just like have this surge goes through you of like, it's so shameful because it is such a risk to say something that might not be funny, and then
it's
awful.
That vibe when the room just sucks out, and then
They can sense it, right?
yeah, they
I
can
feel
sense
like-
it. Yeah.
You said that you didn't notice that he was bombing. The guy that was getting heckled
Yeah,
or whatever.
well, I
or you
knew-
didn't notice his like energy change.
I
but
could
feel
tell
like
the audience did it. I knew because I
okay.
just knew like this was so like I knew he was freaking out because he's a nice guy and you could tell he doesn't have these he's not like going after the crowd.
Yeah, because
so
some comics are like that. Like they just don't fuck with the crowd.
I don't
like
fuck
that.
with the crowd at all.
Oh, really?
At all. And people always
unless
go to
they're
my
disabled.
Yeah, unless they're asking for it by being in a fucking wheelchair. No.
Yeah.
Um
That's what I say.
but-
No, that's good. Guys, by the way, Nikki's on tour. And there's ADA access, so you're more than welcome
It's
to pull
all
up.
handicapped access. That's all I want. My shows are all crowd work.
Yeah. Well, she does them in music venues, but they're still seated shows.
Sitting room only.
Yeah. As long as you bring your own.
I never get a standing ovation, but it doesn't hurt my feelings because they can't. I hope people have a good sense of humor that are listening to this and are
No, dude,
disabled.
it's over, man. It was nice.
Yeah,
knowing
you know what?
Yeah.
This is a good way to go out.
Yeah.
I'm on top.
Yeah.
But it's just. But I don't interact with the crowd, and people think that I will because I've done roasts and all this stuff. I can, but I just have like goals up there in terms of like I want to get through my material. I have something to say,
Yeah.
and the risk factor is too high of like not being funny when you're fucking with the crowd.
Yeah.
At least in my head it is, but it actually, now that with the proliferation of crowd work videos on Instagram, I realize these motherfuckers laugh at anything you do in the crowd will get people to laugh. The bar is so low because audiences know that when you're doing your act, like this is a polished thing, like present something to us that is like, the bar is high. You've worked on this. Most
True,
audiences know that you're not riffing up there.
Yeah.
But when you go in the crowd, there's no way unless you planted someone that you figured out what to do. And so people are just so amazed by any kind of wit that goes on there. So you can just go, look at this guy's shirt, and people are like, oh my fucking God. Like, and it's of the moment. So, and I love crowd work too. I used to love it when I would go see stand up. So I'm challenging myself to do it more, but
should.
it doesn't happen. How do you get into it?
It really depends. Sometimes I'll like kill the energy a little bit on purpose just so I can like talk to somebody.
That seems insane to me. So you'll have momentum and you'll go, I'm going to choose because you enjoy discomfort a little bit.
Yeah,
maybe?
I do. Yeah.
And it probably creates a place for you where you're like, that's where you get motivated? Are you like a last minute type person? Like you get
That
shit
can
done
be.
under the
Yeah. I
gun?
definitely like the pressure.
Yeah.
I like when it's awkward.
That'll bring it.
Yeah.
Just talking to someone. I just generally feel. Can you just tell, because you've done crowd work probably more than me, even though I've been doing stand-up like 18 times as long as you. Like it,
Yeah.
I've been doing it 20 years, but I don't go in the crowd at all. So I'm
That's
asking,
crazy.
like, do you just like look at a guy that like might want it? Because because some people do not want it at all.
I don't know. I have a
Isn't that
weird.
funnier?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you know what? These people pay money to see you, and then you're gonna make them
Oh,
feel
no.
weird. Like I feel bad.
Well, so there's two
I
funny
guess
ones. One guy was like a fucking. This was like the most awkward one. He was like a cop or some shit. And I made a joke about police, and then I looked at him. I'm like, "You're a cop, man," and he didn't say shit. He just stared back at me, and I was like, "Cool," and the whole room was like like moving. And I was
Yeah.
like, "What's your name?" Nothing. I was like,
Oh.
"All right." I was like, "You gonna shoot me later? What's up?"
Okay, yeah, see, that's great.
Yeah, but I just like kept hammering it. So there's definitely people who
He
just
deserved
don't
it.
respond. Yeah.
Did you see the clip of Akash, right?
Yeah.
His-
Akash, yeah.
Yeah, Akash.
Yeah.
His
Oh yeah, he's funny.
his clip of
With the British guy?
Yeah, the guy
Yeah.
in the front row that
Yeah,
was
just
doing
on
that
his
same
phone.
sort of thing.
Yeah.
Wait, really?
Probably one of the worst people to do crowd work with, and this guy was just like
Yeah, he
a
just
total
wasn't
dick
having it.
on his phone, rolling his eyes.
Oh, I remember this, and he
Like
was like kind of a hipstery looking guy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is that right?
I think
Yeah, wait,
so,
I'm
yeah.
so sorry.
He was so good. Oh, I hated that guy.
Sorry, I need to fucking I just now that you brought up the wheelchair and the cerebral palsy thing, I have
Yeah,
to bring
please get
this
back to
up.
that.
This dude's been opening for me, a guy named Tyler Walsh. Super interesting guy. Used to be a rodeo clown and then
Oh
got
my
into
God.
stand up. Yeah, love this guy to death. I took him to San Jose. It was the first time he saw the ocean. So he's like from rural Nebraska.
Yeah.
There's certain things he hasn't
How did you
encountered.
even meet this guy?
The Omaha Funny Bone.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah,
I love Colleen there.
Colleen. Yeah. Yeah, she's
Shout
great.
Yeah,
You
Yeah,
know it.
totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Colleen.
She's a sweetie.
She is a big
She
sweetie,
is.
actually.
Yeah.
No, she's the best.
Colleen.
No, but so he came with me to Salt Lake City, and there was a girl in the front row, and he starts doing his set, and then she just goes, "Bitch," and then he goes, "The fuck you say to me?" And he kind of gets a little aggressive, and then she kind of says a little bit more, and he can't quite figure out what's going on, and then her friend next to her goes, "She has Tourette's," and he's like, "Oh."
Oh no.
So he like kind of shuts down. He like brings it back. He comes back into the green room. He's like, "I'm so sorry, man.
Aw.
I hope I didn't ruin the show. I'm from rural Nebraska. I met a liberal for the first time this year. I never met someone with Tourette's." I was like, dying.
As if Tourette's is like
Yeah,
kind of like
We don't
He's
have
so-
that in the
Yeah.
Midwest.
I was like, "Tyler, go out on this second show and say that shit. That's the funniest fucking thing you said all day." But yeah. So
Yeah, Tourette's is one that'll get. I was like at a place where you just go up to the front and order your bowl or whatever, and I was like, "I'll take the keto bowl with," and she was like, "Bitch, motherfuck, bitch," and I was just like, "Oh my!" But it seemed like it was like she was
I'm
mad
sorry.
at me.
Okay, I'll
Yeah.
get the grain bowl then.
And she goes, "I have Tourette's," and I was like, "I am the best person for you to have Tourette's." Like I was like, This is
Yeah.
awesome. I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I don't care at all, but this poor girl must deal with that all day long. Of
yeah.
it sucks. Like I feel like those kinds of. I love when people have something that makes them like something that I like when the crowd gets like really weird about
Yeah,
something,
yeah, yeah.
and then I stay chill about it. I feel like that's where I thrive. It's when I just feel bad, I guess, when it's someone who has like social anxiety or like stage fright and
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I could actually say disclaimer at the top of my shows of like, if your boyfriend brought you here and you're in the first rows and you're going to spend the whole show being like, "Oh, she doesn't talk to me. Oh, she doesn't talk to me." Like a lot of times I do meet and greets afterwards and they're like, "I didn't go to the bathroom the whole time because I just didn't want you to see me." I'm like, so the whole show you're holding your pee and like miserable. You can't
Yeah.
focus. Like, so I say disclaimer of like, I'm not going to talk to you. Like, unless someone heckles me, I'm not gonna make fun of you. You can get up to go to the bathroom. I'm not gonna be like, look at this lady going to take a shit and like have the spotlight find
That's
you.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is why people are terrified to go to comedy.
Yeah. When we see people get up at our shows, we'd be like, "Are you gonna take a poop?"
Yeah.
Dude, this girl waited.
Oh, girls hate that.
Yeah.
You don't poop.
Yeah, no, this girl waited at one of the Columbus shows, like to. Like I was at like an hour 20 and she's like, I gotta go. So she gets up and she goes. I'm like, oh, you gotta.
Yeah.
Oh, she's farting already.
Yeah,
Ew.
Dude. I was being a 12-year-old.
Devastating.
She was like, what? No. I'm like, careful, it's gonna fall out.
You've probably caused kidney infections after that happened of people coming to your like. Seriously, people are so scared because. I just want to make people feel this is the I think key to
warm
stand up
in between their legs.
Yeah, I always go. If you have to go in your seat. This isn't about you. This is me.
Yeah.
But I just want to make people feel comfortable because I think that's, if you're looking at it from like a broader sense of like what we do as comedians, most people, like Seinfeld has a joke about most people are like their biggest fear is public speaking. They'd rather be in the casket than giving the eulogy, more than death. And so most people coming to see you are going like, oh my God, I could never fucking do that. You have to talk a whole hour and you don't look at your notes and you have to remember their mind is racing of how you can do that, how you can remember all of that. Are you going to remember all of that? If I was that, I couldn't. And they're just a tense for you. When you like watch them. So the best comedians are the ones that just look like, I've got this.
Yeah.
Don't worry. And it's so hard to fake that. So you usually can't. You just got to be comfortable. But I think if you hold a gun to the audience, it's way easier. Yeah,
that's a good bit, right? Yeah.
Hey guys, we want to take a quick break to thank the sponsor of today's episode, PayPal Honey. It's the holiday season, and I am just starting gift shopping for my loved ones. It can be so difficult to find what you want to get them, and know that you're getting the best deal. I try to use coupon codes online, but often end up wasting time and saving hardly any money.
But now, thanks to Honey, manually searching for coupon codes this holiday is a thing of the past. Honey is the free shopping tool that scours the internet for promo codes and applies the best one it finds to your cart. It supports over 30,000 stores online, ranging from tech and gaming products to popular fashion brands, and even food delivery.
I love using Honey. It's super easy to use. Plus, it saves me money all the time.
Yeah.
Tech, workout gear, clothes, even food. The other day, I saved $30 buying gifts for Kelsey, just with a touch of a button. She's going to love her discount gifts.
Yeah.
So how does it work?
Well, I'll tell you. Imagine you're doing your holiday shopping on one of your favorite sites. And when you check out, the Honey button drops down, and all you have to do is click Apply Coupons. Wait a few seconds as Honey searches for coupons it can find for that site. And if Honey finds a working coupon, you'll watch the prices drop.
You can add Honey to your iPhone, too. Just enable it on Safari, and you can find savings on the go. If you don't already, if you don't already have Honey, if you don't already have Honey, you could be straight up missing out on holiday deals. It's literally free and installs in a few seconds, and by getting it, you'll be doing yourself a solid in supporting this podcast. Get PayPal Honey for free at joinhoney.com/TMG. That's joinhoney.com/TMG.
My nephew got a gun.
Oh man, he's not from Colorado, is he? Okay, all right.
They have a real problem out there. It keeps going. It's always Colorado. I mean, it's crazy.
Man. First of all, I love this because I'm always the one just pushing it a little too much, and I laugh.
No, I'm really glad that you brought up school shootings because I'm like I have because I have an announcement. So coming up, Denver. No,
Oh my God.
No, last time I shot my special there, and this time I'm gonna shoot
someone special.
Oh shit!
Damn, that's like a combination of every single joke.
Oh my God!
And Nikki has a real affinity for special people.
You thought you were disabled before. This is over. It's over.
Yeah, we're done, dude.
Oh man, it was
so
great
me and
while
Nikki
it
are on
lasted.
tour. You can come see us. We won't have careers. Cody will still be here.
We're opening for Kyle Rittenhouse.
Yeah. We're opening the door and then he comes through. No, all right.
No, but I'm weirdly. Anyway, I'm weirdly obsessed with like Columbine. I've read like 4 books about it this year.
Actually?
I'm like,
Why are people obsessed with that? Like,
Are
they're-
they?
Yes, it's a thing on TikTok. Like, girls are like think that the guys are like the
This is
sexiest.
the-
dudes.
Oh God.
Yeah,
male
it's really
gaze.
fucking
This
weird.
Is the male
No.
gaze on women.
Yeah.
Y'all like dudes that shoot stuff.
No, that is a thing. Like they're
No,
all
they
attracted
have,
to
like, a
Dahmer and stuff.
Fandom. Yeah, people make like edits of them. It's
I
fucking
have seen.
disgusting.
I've heard of that before. That's not my. I have no like. I'm not like. Yeah, they're so hot. I'm just like. I guess it happened my freshman year of high school, and so it was just like this. I mean, it was. There were school shootings before that, but I don't know. That one remains the one that everyone knows about. It was just so.
Yeah.
I'm just into things that are really morbid. I'm not as into like for some reason, serial killers, women being into that is like completely acceptable. You know, like, oh my God, Dahmer's gonna like win Emmys and stuff, and everyone kind of accepts it. But I'm into school shooting, like the mind of shooters. I'm like and pedophiles, and people are like, what's wrong with you? And I'm like, I don't know. It's just like, it is the craziest thing to me beyond serial killing, I guess.
To like a
and so
kid.
I'm fascinated by it. But my nephew did get a gun, not a real gun, but like a toy gun. My mom bought him one for from like she like shops at Goodwill, and she got this toy that was like a dinosaur, and you shoot it. But he just took the gun and he was like shooting us like point blank.
Yeah.
And we had to do a buyback program. Sorry. I laughed at my own fucking dumb joke. I promise that wasn't a setup for that joke.
You made him turn it in? Damn.
But I wonder, like, did you guys
You're
have
not taking my gun.
Yeah, he quoted the Second Amendment. I was like,
Yeah.
you're 4. Wait, did you guys have toy guns growing up? Like, you're a bit younger than me. When did it happen where everyone was like, no more? Like,
It was
Like
when
BB guns and shit. Is that what you mean?
toy, like you're dead. Like,
Water
I feel like
guns?
people don't water guns. Yeah, I mean,
No,
but I
I
grew up in the 90s.
Oh, like real guns.
no,
yeah.
guns were way more realistic.
Yeah.
I remember I think I was like, I want to say like 10, and there was like that big national story of the kid pulling out the airsoft gun and the cop shooting him.
Yeah.
And then, or maybe I was more like 12 or 14, but it was like early teens, and then that's when all the guns kind of switched over.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was, but I was like, we were just freaking out. Like, he can't have this, and he keeps. And my dad's like, when I was a young boy, I had toy guns, but I didn't shoot them at people. And I'm like, of course you did.
Yeah.
Now we're looking at that like that's so bad. Like, he's gonna be a shooter someday. It's like, no. What are you supposed to? The wall? Kids are gonna shoot. They're gonna shoot their
That's
aunt,
no fun.
Nikki,
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
fucking head.
Shoot
He would come
people.
up to me and be like, put it against my temple, and I'm just like, okay,
Damn.
let's it was,
Jesus. Yeah, so Fboy Island.
yeah, Fboy Island.
What season is it on now?
Well,
Is
you
there a
know,
season
we're
3?
kind of in between, like waiting for a pickup.
I'm a
you
big
know.
fan.
Oh, thank you.
I loved the show.
Oh my God, you guys
And-
would have both been good on that show. You would be good now. I'm sure you're in relationships.
What does that
but
mean?
Just like you're watchable, you're handsome. It's kind of like we
We're
don't know.
both nice guys.
I don't know. You appear to be, but then you don't know. So
Yeah,
you'd be
yeah,
really good.
yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like at it. Like, so yeah, it's the premise of the show. If you don't know, 3 girls are looking for love, and then there's 30 guys, and 15 are nice guys, and 15 are Fboys, but they all look like Fboys, and it's it's fun.
remember when
it's
I
the
first-
best thing I've ever done.
When I first saw the trailer, and it was like, okay, it just seemed like another dating show that didn't really understand itself, but it's like super self-aware.
Yes.
Like it makes fun of itself a lot, and
Yeah.
because of
I
you,
got,
I
got
think.
on the first season. I took it too seriously. I'm like,
Same.
this show is fucking, his shit is cringe. And then I'm
Yes.
like, oh wait, it's a bit.
Yeah, the first season it was towing that line of like we weren't going as hard on wink wink, like we're in on the joke too. So I think
Yeah.
second season is when we really were like, let's have a lot of fun with this and make fun of this as much as possible. And
Yeah.
a lot of the show itself, like it came with the name Fboy Island when it landed in front of me. Like I kind of told my agents I want to get into the reality space because it's like the only TV I watch, yet I'm auditioning for these like roles on scripted stuff. I don't even like scripted TV, and so I was like, I want to do reality. I don't know how. And then they sent me a bunch of shows that were like looking for hosts, and I saw Fboy Island, and I was like, that's got to be funny. Like
Yeah.
that it already has a sense of humor in the title. That can't be a serious show. I mean, it reminded me of 30 Rock, they had a fake show called MILF Island.
Yeah.
And it was like, that's what it reminded me of. And so I was like,
I didn't realize that.
yeah.
By the way,
like,
that is actually being made. I'm pretty sure it's
Really?
not called MILF Island, but my friend just like posted on his close story about how his close friend's story about how he's getting cast for a show about young guys dating older women.
Is Young
want
And it's a
Gravy the
dating
host?
show.
fuck and
It's
a
not.
man.
Yeah.
Is this Young Gravy the host?
I mean, he
Yeah.
should
yeah.
be.
Yeah.
I know it does sound like a great.
I
Concept,
would
right?
love
Yeah.
to be on that show.
But
So,
sorry.
I sign me up. No, I am very happily in a relationship. But when does this air?
Oh, you want to be on the show? I see.
No. So, no. But when it came, the guy that created it, Elon Gale, he worked at The Bachelor and Bachelorette for like 20 years, and then he started producing these other reality shows. And he called me and was like, "I think you'd be good for this." And I was like, "Please, God, yes." And it was the first time in my, at this point, 18-year career that I'd ever wanted something so badly and the network wanted me just as much, where it was like mutual. It always, I don't know, my relationships have always felt like that. Nothing's ever felt mutual in my goddamn life. Like I've always been chasing something that doesn't want me. And it was the first time it was like, oh, they want me too. And a lot of people threw their name in to be the host of it because it's a great role. It's comedic and you get to live in paradise and just hang out. It's so fucking easy.
How many weeks are you there?
Dude, it's like 5 to 6 weeks. Maybe like 8 the first season because we had to quarantine for 2 weeks when we got there.
Oh.
And it was 2021. And America was still very much mask land. And it was like, early 2021. And we go to the Cayman Islands and they have no COVID on their island. So we get in, there's people in hazmat suits greeting us. We go instantly into a bubble and we stay in our hotels for 2 weeks. And then when we got out, no masks. And so it was like, everyone's ready to fuck. Like the crew, the cat, like everyone.
Everyone's
it
gonna do
was
some shit.
wild. It was so much fun.
Did anyone in the crew bone each other?
I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know. Yeah.
I thought that was like a...
Yes, of course they did. yeah. There was so much of that going on. You find out afterwards. Because
That's what I
everyone's
mean.
like so secret about it, but then you find out later and you're like, oh my God, those
Sorry,
two?
I should have phrased that like, did two core people on set fuck and everyone kind of knew like... Yeah, so the director just fucked the first assistant camera and
right
it's,
on set in front of everyone.
Yeah,
is what he's saying.
and now it's awkward.
Yeah.
I think that most of that stuff came out after the fact, and everyone was kind of going like, "Oh,
Yeah,
okay."
yeah,
Which whenever I'm on a set, I'm always like, "Oh my God, this would be so fun to have a set mance or what do they call them? Showmans." That makes more sense.
Oh, what is
set mance? Showmans.
a
Yeah.
showman's? Got
Yeah,
it.
where you're like, and that's why I would never date an actor because if you're a hot guy and you get paired with some hot girl and you go to Paris for like 8 weeks to shoot something and you're
Yeah.
doing scenes where you're like making out
Yeah.
and falling in love, it's so impossible not to catch feelings. I mean, cheating is one thing and people should have enough integrity, but they're gonna catch feelings regardless. You're
Yeah.
too close. You're involved in this thing that, you're in this bubble. No one else knows about it. You feel like it's almost like trauma bonding.
Yeah.
And so, I'm not surprised Angelina Jolie seduced Brad Pitt. Like those kinds of things happen. I'd be Jada Pinkett Smith. I heard on the set of, whatever Will Smith did with Margot Robbie, she would like be in the room during their sex scenes.
Oh, wow.
Just to, like hang out at
Wow.
set that day.
Wow.
I'd probably do that too. No, I wouldn't. I'm not like a jealous person. I'd be like, go try to get Margot Robbie. Tell me about it. Like,
Yeah.
I really be like, I'm proud of you.
I saw her at John and Vinny's. I saw a guy try his damnedest to make an introduction. It was kind of funny.
Oh my God.
What did he do?
She was picking up food, and God bless her, she rolled in there solo. She just had a car waiting out front, but she hopped out the car by herself.
Was she all like hood up?
No, it was just her.
She's just
And-
stunning.
She just walked a good
Yeah.
like
Margot, bitch.
Yeah.
she walked a good like 30 feet on her own, which I thought was fucking bold.
Wow.
Yeah, and then she walks in the restaurant and then just say hi from Margot, and they go get the food, and some guy's like, "Hey."
I'm already like so
Yeah.
uncomfortable.
He's like, "John, we both know," and he like says some random
Ew.
name, and she's like, I don't know a Patrick. He's like, "No, yeah, you do," and he's really trying to make it happen.
Ugh.
Oh
Yeah.
God, that's so uncomfortable.
Yeah,
Oh, yo, I love Wolf of Wall Street, by the way.
Yeah.
That's my favorite film.
Yeah.
yeah.
I feel like that's okay. Like, I don't know. How do you guys feel about when you see celebrities? Like, it is someone who really matters to you, or like, do you do you get a picture? What do you do? And like, how do you deal with it with fans? Like, what's the best approach?
People hit us up for pictures. It's fine.
No,
I think.
I say no every time.
Yeah, you do seem you are enough.
Yeah, he'd win the show. Yeah,
I said pay me.
Yeah,
that's what I said usually.
I'm fine with it. I get uncomfortable because sometimes some people are a bit rude to the people around them. Like these 3 guys like ran up to me to an airport, and I thought that was cool. Like fine, but then they wanted a picture, but none of them wanted to hold it. So he turns to a guy who's eating, and he's like, "Yo, can you take this pic?"
Dude,
and the guy,
that's the worst.
The guy, I was like, "Hey man," but the guy jumped in for him. He's like, "I'm fucking eating, bro." And the guy's like, "Oh." And his friend's like, "Dude, just take a selfie. Just take a selfie."
Dude, when they jam the phone in my fiance's face and they go, "Hey, can you take this?"
Yeah, that's always.
No, please either.
Yeah.
No, please.
They look at me. They're like, "Can we get a photo?" And I'm like, "Sure." And they're like, "Cool. Here."
Yeah.
They just jam it in her, and I'm like, "Dude, can
It
you have some
happens
fucking respect?"
so fucking often. I love that you guys are saying this too, because I felt like maybe I'm crazy for noticing this, but I do meet and greets, and I have a guy that is there to take pictures, and they'll be like, "What is it? Like you didn't even use the right lens."
Yeah.
Like they'll yell at him about it. I'm like, he's not getting paid. I mean, he is getting paid, but like he's not getting paid well. Okay, it's so rude.
He is disabled. Okay.
That's why it's at a low angle. I'm sorry he can't get your perfect angle.
And I shot his fucking eyes out. So just be glad that he's able to click the phone at all.
Oh my God. Yeah, people are just like, here. And then they get mad about like, and then they get mad at you and they're like, it's blurry. We need to do it again. It's like, you got one shot and just do selfies. I love taking pictures with people, but I know, like, I like taking pictures with celebrities. I want them I was on the set with the Backstreet Boys yesterday, and I was like, oh my God, I want a picture so bad. But
did you do it?
I didn't, because I didn't have my phone on me because we were shooting the scene, and when it wrapped, it was like I would have had to get it and stuff. So I got other people's pictures of the scene. But what I think the best protocol, what I would do is have your camera ready before you ask. Have it already open to like a selfie, like it's shooting, right?
Yeah.
And then go, would you mind if we got a selfie? And then just boom, click. Yeah. It's fast. Instead of like you go, I love you so much, and you're pulling up the apps and you go, oh my God, this is my dog. Oh my gosh. And like, oh gosh, why is this not working? And you have to like go through their whole,
I think just a testament
operating
to how,
system.
Social media has just like ruined everything.
Yeah.
Like there's no like etiquette anymore.
Yeah.
There's no, I'm not bagging on people that are fans of other.
No.
I probably do the same thing. It's just the parasocial relationships.
Yeah.
You're just used to feeling like you actually know these people. So you see them in public.
Yes.
And you're like, oh, fuck yeah. Here, let's get a pic. Dude, let's get a pic.
Yes.
And you're like, I'm in the middle of a meal.
There's something really nice about the fact that, especially podcasting, people feel closer to you because you're in their ear. It's like you're like whispering to them. Like, how often as humans before media did we ever have someone like in our ear intimately? It'd be like a lover.
Yeah.
And so people are conditioned to think that they have these really intimate relationships with you, which is so great because it makes for just making such great fans that know you and care about you and will be lifelong fans. But at the same time, they do have that familiarity that they can like mistreat you.
But you know where that kind of like is kind
But
of.
it's rare. That's like one in 100.
Yeah, that's true. Not
right?
everyone does.
And
I
it
feel like
sucks that they
we're
stand
being like spoiled right now.
No.
No.
Most people are so awesome.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
so
And-
spoiled to have people like care about us enough to even want a fucking
I agree.
picture.
No,
Yeah.
And if you ask me for a picture, I will say no.
Yeah.
No, I will say yes. Just don't do the phone jamming thing.
No,
Yeah.
I hate that.
Pics
I
are
will.
cool.
I get mad when people are like, "I saw you at the gym, but I didn't want to bother you." I'm like, "This is why I do this. I want people to go.
Yeah,
Are you
it's
Nikki
an
Glaser?
ego boost.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Please bother me. I love it. I love it.
We want to take a quick break to thank the sponsor of today's episode, DoorDash. You've got back-to-back meetings, errands to run, chores to take care of. I know what it's like. What's the secret to clearing your to-do list? I'll tell you. A little help from DoorDash. You can get dinner, household essentials, and everything on your grocery list delivered. Whether last-minute school supplies or impromptu dinner or fresh flowers for that special occasion. With DoorDash, there is a neighborhood of good in every order.
With over 300,000 partners, you can support your neighborhood go-tos or choose from your favorite national restaurants like Popeyes, Chipotle, and Cheesecake Factory. Along with the restaurants you love, you can now get groceries and other essential items delivered with DoorDash. Get drinks, snacks, and other household items delivered in under an hour. DoorDash connects you with the restaurants you love right now, right to your door.
I love DoorDash. It's so easy to use and has all of my favorite foods ready to order at the touch of a button. Ordering is easy. Open the DoorDash app, choose what you want from where you want it, and your items will be left safely outside your door with contactless delivery drop-off setting. With DoorDash, you're not just getting the things you love, but supporting the community you love too.
And for a limited time, our listeners can get 50% off their first order of $15 or more when you download the DoorDash app and enter the code TMG22. That's 50% off your first order of $15 or more when you download the DoorDash app in the App Store and enter the code TMG22. Don't forget, that's code TMG22 for 50% off your first order with DoorDash. Subject to change, terms apply.
Use the code.
Use it. Now, you know what I love, dude, is recently I've had a lot of people come up. It'll just be like random dudes. And they'll be like, yo.
Yeah.
And they just walk away.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, that was sick.
Yes.
I'm like, that, because I like that because I'm like, oh, we're boys.
Yeah. That's how they do it in Australia. I'm friends with like two of the most like famous dudes in Australia. Hamish and Andy is their name. And they're
yeah.
And they and everyone in Australia just acts like they're best friends, like, hey, Andy. Just like not like, oh my God, but they're just that's like sick. So because there's this thing of in Australia, like no one should be a tall poppy. Like everyone should be kind of the same. Yes. And so anyone that thinks they're too cool, like, no, you're getting chopped down. So celebrities, they acknowledge, like, thank you for your talent, but you're not better than any of us. And that's I think in America, like, certainly we benefit from the fact that people think celebrities are better than other people. But like we do. You get Dior, like you know, like
he gets Dior.
That's because Irish.
Irish. But it is an illusion, like of I'm always like when just I don't know. I get annoyed sometimes. I benefit from it, but the fact that like talent gets treated better than like crew.
Yeah. That's
in certain circumstances where they're just like, I'll be on a set and they're like, please sit down, take my chair. And I'm like, but that was your chair. And they're like, if they find out that I did not give you your chair, I'm like,
weird.
Why?
Yeah.
Because I am insecure enough to become a performer. Like what makes me more special? But I guess it's like they can be replaced and I can't, but I feel very replaceable. I like to remind them there's many funny women out there and I'm aging. My days are numbered.
But a good gaffer, that's hard to find.
Yeah, I would think so. But it's I'm as much as I depend upon it, the and am part of it, of like the obsession of celebrity and like worshiping them. There's something fun about it for sure.
Yeah, but you have like you have
I
like
kind of hate it too.
No, you have like the traditional celebrity. Like you've been on big ass productions with big networks. Like I feel like you have that recognition where people are like, hey, you're the chick from the roast. And they're like snapping their fingers at you. What's your name?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like you have that.
What's that? How is that different than?
I don't know. I feel like
I think it's the parasocial thing.
Yeah. I think it's more like I think you have the people that know you from like they know you and that middle 30%.
Yes.
And I feel like we just mainly have like the people that know us from whispering in their ears.
Right. Well, there's something to be said about that. Of like you haven't had to, and you certainly do. Diversify, but I feel like I've just, and you were talking I've listened to your episode with Ron Funches. I was just with him yesterday on this Backstreet Boys thing, and so when I saw his episode I was like, I gotta hear that. And you were talking about just like saying yes to everything, like different things, and how this has afforded us the opportunity to do other stuff. I love an IMDb that is just chaotic and like she's just done everything, because you don't know. There's some people that have never even heard of the Comedy Central roast.
Yeah.
And then there's some people that only watch network TV. There's some people that and I haven't done a good job of like doing TikTok. Like I'm bad at putting like my stand-up clips into a place where people can just like look at them in bite size and like review them. It's like really, it's my biggest
like crazy right now.
And it's the biggest problem for me. It's the thing I'm best at, without question, out of all the things that I do, is stand up, because I've been doing it the longest, not because I'm like, it's just the thing that I have the most hours accumulated towards doing. And I'm so critical of it that I can even putting out a special is hard for me. I like stand up because I originally got into it because you just do it and then it's over.
Yeah.
And people can go, I remember that joke sucked, and you go, but did it?
Yeah.
Because it's just your memory. It's gone. But now you can go back and look. And for me, it's never good enough.
Yeah.
And so when I watch and I'm so critical of stand-up already, and people not being as good as I want them to be, and people like, I'm so critical that I think people are as critical of me. And so I don't put any clips out because I'm just worried that people will finally figure out I'm not as talented. It's like maybe I've tricked people into being like that imposter syndrome, which everyone fucking has.
Do you feel like that about your specials though?
Yes.
Really?
They're not like it takes me, my HBO special, which I'm proud of. It just like, it's one night of your life. And my stand-up is not like scripted to a T. My special Perfect, the first one I put out, was pretty scripted to a T. It was more early on when I wasn't doing as much like not storytelling, but just riffing. And since then, my style is just, I get up there and I say the joke differently every single time. And usually I'll find a place where it works, but I like to just, like I was saying before, I like to be in the moment. I like it to be honest. So I hate when it's scripted. And so that one night in Denver when I shot the special, like, I don't know, I was just feeling a little bit too like there was just things about both my performances that night, and I go, why did you say the joke like that? You never even said it like that. Why would you do that? And I'm like, and you missed that one line that you could have, like, there's so many deep regrets. So that special in particular came out in July, and I am very proud of it. In the end, I was like, oh, this is good, but I was so scared to look at it. And I had to edit it because I couldn't trust anyone else to do it, that it was supposed to come out in March and I had to come out in July because I could not look at it. I couldn't watch it. I can't watch myself.
Editing yourself is tough. I also think the tough part with stand-up, like when you film specials too, is it's like such a fine line that when you get all that production in the room, it just changes the vibe.
Yes.
And it's just, it
does.
It's hard, I think, to focus on what
Everyone's
you came there to
nervous.
do. That too, yeah. And then the audience, like, they see all the gear and shit.
Yeah,
and
the audience can't relax. And that's what I was saying before. You need to make them relax in order to have a good show. For them to laugh, you can't laugh when you're like super nervous and anxious. And so I learned my next special, and I think, if you're smart, you'll steal this as any comedians listening. Don't have an opener. Go out and open your own show and get relaxed and go, listen, this is a taping. I'm nervous. You're nervous. Who gives a fuck? We're all going to die. Like, have a moment with them where it's like, they're not rolling. This is so
tonight.
Yeah. Lock the door. You break out the gun. But like, I'm going to open my next special because I would just wish I would have had that moment with them to be like, guys, this is like, just, I'm a little bit on it because I watch it now and I'm like, oh, you're a little bit nervous, and I never get nervous on stage, but when it's a taping and there's HBO execs there and like my friends and family are there, that shit, and I don't want them there next time. That adds another layer to it. I just want to be comfortable, and the best specials I feel like are the guys or gals, I call them gals, that are just comfortable. And you can just sense nerves. Even if you watch someone, you go, they're not nervous. There's a part of your subconscious that's like, I can tell they're nervous.
Sorry, I'm just laughing at someone taking that sentence out of context, being like, Nikki Glaser said only men's specials are the best. When guys do specials, it's so good. Sorry, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say I do like, it seems to be a little bit of a trend right now where people will put their specials out on YouTube, but they'll like spend less on production. So it's like
stripped down.
Yes.
And they'll shoot it at a smaller venue, so it seems more intimate, like a little bit more natural. It's just kind of like you're watching as a viewer. It's like, oh, I'm just watching like as if I were there. It's not like this big ass show.
It's the best in a 200 cap room. I feel like anything over 200.
I know.
All the best rooms are 200.
That's interesting. Yeah, in terms of clubs, I don't know. Theater's still pretty fucking good.
Yeah, theaters are fun. It's definitely I mean that feeling when it hits the ceiling.
It can be really fun. I love Norm Macdonald's
playing
special,
stadiums.
His last one.
Yeah.
Playing stadiums is really cool too.
Oh,
Have
yeah,
you ever?
I'm
kidding.
Oh, wow.
We've never
heard of them.
He's like, when I
I think MSG personally was the best performance that we did.
The Palais in Melbourne. You ever done that?
We haven't done stadiums, by the way.
No, I know.
Okay.
That's why she's laughing.
She's like, you guys.
I know. We know.
You guys will get there. I mean, you're closer than I am. Norm Macdonald's special where he's just in front of his computer, his last one, before he died.
Yeah.
There's no audience. And I'm like, thank God, let's skip the laughter. I don't need to be coached to laugh. Sometimes I'm just like, I watch specials on 2 times the speed because I'm like, I want to hear jokes.
Yeah.
I can laugh on my own time and I don't need, but that laughter actually, laughter it's contagious. And so it does like teach you what's funny and what's not. But I really liked just like bare bones. Just like I sometimes just want to read jokes. I just put the captions on. I'm like, I just want to like see. I don't need to hear someone. I don't need the audience to be like,
yeah.
But I have no patience.
Dude, I'm gonna put out a special. It's just gonna be like a live journal post.
Yeah.
Please,
Yeah, so,
I would watch the fuck out of
yeah,
it.
this is there's no crowd. Like you just read it. You're like,
I mean, like when
Is
you
it a
guys
fan
watch
fiction?
yeah.
TikTok or Reels, like stand up, do you unmute it? Do you?
No, I do that actually. I do watch people's
Yeah.
I watch
captions. Yeah.
Same.
definitely.
Like
Yeah.
in bed.
Yeah.
If
Like if you
something's
wake
not
up and
catching-
if she's not awake yet, I'll just like turn the volume all the way down and then
Yeah.
I'll watch it that
I
way.
think I watch everything with the captions, and I don't really need sound anymore. I just
You know what? I'm gonna do a bunch of anti-comedy stand-up clips where I just say one word and the remaining 59 seconds is just people laughing.
and
And
then
it's
all
just
your
me
dates come
gloating.
up at the
Yeah.
end.
Yeah. So
I'm not kidding you. People would actually, that's actually happening where people say no joke.
Yeah.
And I wait for it. I wait for the joke and I'm like, how does this have
MSG
30,000
12-3,
shares?
12-4, 12-5, 12-6.
You
You're
should
fucking
put out
Harry Stylesing.
you should film your special and then put it out, but the volume mixing is really bad. So
Yeah.
you just can't hear your joke. Like you're telling jokes, but
Yes.
the audience laughter is way too loud the whole time.
Okay, yeah.
Like throughout,
Just
like just
so
constant
obvious.
laughter through the whole thing.
And then all the ads are like back-to-back laughs, non-stop laughter.
Yeah, because what they do say that, and it would be like that would be horrible.
Yeah.
And there was not. That's a terrible show. You
The
can't
crowd
get
can't get enough air. sorry. I'll kill myself now.
Are you on the road a lot?
Yeah, I've been
Copy.
this year.
You have been.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
it? And how old are you?
14. I'm. Everyone
Again,
should commit suicide because I'm
and you're
literally.
wait, you're married.
Yes.
Oh
yeah.
wow. How is that for your relationship? be on the
It's
road?
fine. She's.
That's good.
Yeah, she's totally down.
She's cool about it.
Yeah, she's it's funny. Like really early on, like when we started touring.
Japanese. You're Japanese.
No. Let's try. Let's try. Let's try. Let's try.
I don't know. You just picked up your cap, and I was like, I see.
Yeah, because of the way I.
Yeah.
That's a little racist.
You just looked like someone who I think might be Japanese. I don't know.
She's like, you've seen Indiana Jones, right? You know, Round Eye. Yeah, no. No, yeah, she's cool with it.
That's nice. It's hard. It's nice though because you go away a lot and then you miss them.
Well, early on when we started touring, like we figured out pretty quickly touring is not glamorous, and like they came out like both of our partners. They came out to like some buttfuck city,
Right.
And it was like, all right, yeah, this is, you know.
Yeah, they're not like, oh, he's not living the high life out here.
Yeah, I mean, you know.
Sometimes it can be nice, but
Yeah, my wife, she was working like in marketing at the time, so like when she would come out, she was like, I'm not going to St. Louis for the weekend. Bro.
yeah.
You know?
I mean, I live there, so that was rude, but
I'll be there next year.
She's not wrong. Oh,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Yeah, I was there earlier this year.
I'm there
shows.
New Year's Eve. I'm doing a big theater there, the Stiefel. So if any of your listeners, I'm on tour right now. Started it again, and going to Memphis tomorrow. And like sales are like real fucking low.
I saw the bit you did.
Yeah, it's embarrassing.
What was
Like
the bit?
you just gotta like. I hate.
Singing to him, she's like,
Yeah, I wrote a song about like I took that song that's like walking in Memphis.
Oh,
and I was
yeah,
just
yeah.
like did
I
a song
love that
about
song.
how it's so good.
I love that song.
It's
What's the artist?
So fucking
Who's the
good.
artist again?
Forget his name.
Post Malone.
No. Yeah. Yeah.
But I redid it, and I was just talking about people coming to my show. But
Donovan?
because my agents are like, please put out like some video getting people to please come. Yeah,
Yeah.
Mark Cohn.
Mark Cohn. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have any other hits? I wonder. Running in Vegas.
And it's a little
Rolling
bit.
in Seattle.
Song's a little bit faster.
He
Yeah.
just does all different. But yeah, I did this video, but it was just like I just hate doing any kind of video of like, come see my show, everyone. Like it's just so tired, and I kind of just want to be honest of like. Tickets aren't selling well there. It doesn't hurt my feelings because I'm selling well everywhere else. So like one city, it's not like this is desperate, but it's like this city. I like Memphis and I would like to go back, but if you don't sell well the first time you come through, it's like
Yeah.
probably won't go back.
Well,
So
I was
it's-
telling him that I feel like the thing after COVID is everyone's so last minute.
Yeah,
And
they are.
And with stand up, I feel like you have to be telling people to the day of.
Constantly.
You're like, I'm in. It's so funny, and then you get people afterward. They're like, "Oh, fucking, I didn't know you were here."
I know.
Like, how did you not know?
I know. I do this thing now with shows. So if anyone is interested, you could check out my dates, nikkiglaser.com. But I gotta get that plug in.
Andrew, make sure you buy a ticket. Because you're listening. Schultz is definitely listening.
Oh yeah, Schultz.
Yeah.
Schultz, he can come for free, but he wouldn't be interested. And he's busy, right? So I'm doing all these freaking dates, and I feel like a lot of people miss out on shows not because they don't hear about it, but because they can't find anyone to go with them.
There's that too.
Right? Like it's just one person wants to go and they're like, oh, none of my friends can afford it, or they can't get babysitter, whatever the fuck it is, you know?
Yeah.
And
you're doing Tel Aviv?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I'm going to Europe. Is that Europe? Is that where you're from? No, I know it's Europe because you said it like that so incredulously. So now I know it is. But
Middle East.
Well, it's yeah, but
Tel Aviv.
Yeah,
Israel?
that's not.
Yeah.
So you can't say that's Europe.
I don't know. Can you?
Okay, like we don't know. This is so embarrassing. Well, I think you were sure about it, and now I made you question it. But I'm so bad with geography. So Middle East is in the Middle East. Okay, so Middle East is not Europe. Will you just write as Middle East Europe?
It's Asia.
Oh yeah. And so is Russia.
I'm just going to let this ride.
Oh, come on. But I do this thing with my shows anyway where it's like if you want to go alone to my show and you buy a ticket alone, which a lot of people have like, oh, I'm going to look like a loser or whatever. I go
live your life.
I'll give you a free meet and greet, which I generally, it's part of a VIP package or I charge for it because not to be a dick, but because you just can't meet everyone. So you got to put some kind of like, and if you can't afford a meet and greet, I'm always just like, I'll just give you one. But I will definitely give you a free one if you go alone to a show, and then I'll, say hi to you after the show and stuff, because I want more people to go to comedy shows, but I think so many people miss out because a lot of people who listen to podcasts and who like comedy don't have that many friends. And that's not a dig. Like, it's hard to make friends. It's hard to maintain friends, especially when you get in your 30s and everyone gets partners and kids.
After 25 or 26, making new friends is just, it can be so brutal.
So hard. And finding the right person to go to a comedy show with that might be very raunchy. Like, you don't want to bring a first date necessarily. You don't want to bring your mom. You don't want to bring your sister. So people struggle. And it's like, I just encourage people, go alone, because you will meet people there. And also, I've never been to something and seen someone alone and been like, what a loser.
Nah.
Like, there's no part of me that I wouldn't even clock it, I don't think.
Nah.
So I would encourage people to go alone.
A theater is the best place to go solo, I feel, to something. Because it's just like, it's in the dark. No one's any wiser that you're solo.
I'm going to Taylor Swift with my fans. Like, I didn't get Swift tickets, and so I was just put it out on my Instagram like, it sucks I didn't get any tickets, and people just started, and I wasn't even trying fishing, and people were like, you can go with me and my friends. And I'm like, just random fans up there, like, we have 4 tickets, and if you want to go with us. And so I'm like, I will go with fans.
That's sick.
It's so awesome.
Gonna be a crazy night for them.
Yeah.
And I'll pay for the ticket. I'll fly to you and pay for the ticket, but I'm like, I will do anything. I mean, it's very important to me to go to as many of these shows as I can. And it would be fun. And I feel, being a Swiftie, I identify more as a Swiftie than I do as a comedian or a woman or anything. I really do. And so it's just a commonality that you have with someone.
Me too.
Are you a Swiftie?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Are you truly a Swiftie though? Like, big time?
100%.
Really? So don't you feel like when you meet another
fucking hate
Swiftie?
people from Oklahoma and St. Louis. You guys just, God, dude.
I feel a kinship with them. Like, I'm sure your podcast listeners, if they run into each other and they both find out that they listen to the show, they're like,
awesome.
oh my God, we're instant friends. And that's how I feel about other Taylor Swift fans. It's like, you have this commonality that is probably a deeper bond than I share with most of my best friends. Like, you have this thing that you love so much. I mean, do you guys have anything that you're obsessed with?
Wait, can I just ask real
please.
quick? Because my fiance is a huge Swiftie as well.
Yes!
And she now is like, we got tickets to one of the shows. Yeah. And now she's trying to get tickets for another show because she's like, I need to go to multiple of these things to see the different openers. Are you going to do the same thing? You said I'm going
not
to
for the openers. I just want to see her as much as possible.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to go to as many as I'm going to spend all of. I just bought tickets yesterday. $6,000 for 3 tickets. I know. I just heard a gasp from the next. I mean, and I'm not bragging. Like, I don't spend like this on anything. I live in a modest apartment in St. Louis. I buy secondhand clothing. I'm not a big spend. I drive my mom's old beat up Lexus. I bought her a new car, but I'm not someone who spends a lot. But this is like, I can spend this insane amount of money that would be like a trip to Europe or the Middle East. We don't know really. Or I could go to this one night that would be the best time of my life. In fact, like it's just,
I think if you're Jewish, you can
it.
go to Israel for free one time, right?
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Oh, I wish there was a birthright for Taylor Swift shows. That would be awesome. Oh shit, we gotta start that. Like if you're like a blonde white girl who grew up on a Christmas tree farm, you get but you get to go to free.
Are you a Swiftie? Yeah, my uncle was. My aunt was. That's right.
You're only a Swiftie if your mother was.
Sorry. Right.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, you don't count. You do not count.
No, I go to Taylor Swift listening parties. Not listening parties, but like Taylor Swift.
Out of here. You serious?
Dude, it's the best time I've ever had in my life is going. Have you ever been to one?
No.
Okay, so I would really recommend it.
Yeah, this shit is religion.
You
man.
go.
This is crazy.
You go. I went to one in St. Louis, and they had at this point like
really
3 that year. So this is like an ongoing thing.
Listen to the
tickets
music.
sold.
We sacrifice a fan, and then we all just like kind of hang out and like just in our love for her.
We
Wait, what was the second one? We just hang out.
We smeared him with our period blood.
Oh, jeez.
We burn an effigy of Jake Gyllenhaal, and we call it a night. Yeah,
Sorry, what were you-
God. But it's so simple. So all you do is you go, and there's like 5 people on stage that like run the event, and they go around the country. They make so much fucking money off of just pressing play and having like, they have a big screen with like her music videos playing, but there's not any like real talent that goes into just being like, girls, are you guys ready? I mean, and you, but like, but it's mostly a bunch of women and like, and some gay guys and like, and guys with good taste in music that might be, and but I think, and I took my boyfriend went because at the time I had vocal cord surgery, so I couldn't speak, and so I needed like a translator with me at all times, and so he went with me, and he was like, I've never seen a room of people with so much joy for extended joy. Like just a 2-hour-long joygasm. He was like, I've never seen anything like it. It was infectious. He was like kind of like scared of it at first, but he was like, this is just magical. And people, you get to go on stage and like sing. I brought in like a microphone just to like hold to pretend like I was like, I was just a fan that it was so much fun. And so my goal for 2023 is to start a Taylor Swift cover band and like start adding dates to my shows. Like I go into town before or after, and I do a cover band of Taylor Swift, and I just donate the proceeds because I just want to do it for fun. Like I'm not trying to make money, but there's such a built-in. I'd probably sell out bigger venues doing a cover band for Taylor Swift than I would my own comedy shows, and it's the best.
What's your favorite album?
Oh, that's a great question. It's actually my favorite album is Reputation. And I know it's shocking. Yes, not a lot of Swifties feel that way.
I think God.
That was the one that got me. I was going through like a tough time with a guy, and then Delicate is my favorite song of all time, and then Ready for It, just opening that. There was just like, I loved it. But then
I think that's the tour that I went to.
Really?
How long ago was that?
That was 2018, I think. 17, 18. Yeah,
that's the one I went to.
Oh,
And
was it great? It's the one on Netflix.
Yeah, I was like, I understand why this is such a why it's so like electric for people, because she really like puts so much effort into it.
Yes. She just like, I don't know, it just makes you. I just wish she would have been around when I was in high school. It just like she helps me feel my feelings, which are all like fucking pent up as hell. Like you guys get it. You're boys. Yeah. Like feelings, they're hard to access, and especially as a comedian,
Well,
like you just look at everything like
drywall. It's so easy to get it out. This is how I express myself.
Yeah. But comedy is like, it's just so, music is so sincere and comedy is so insincere. And yeah, I mean, because I don't mean to get all in the net on you, but like, it's like, there's this thing of like, everything I can say something real, but I got to cut it with a joke. So I can get really vulnerable, but I got to go, I'm gonna, don't worry, it's not too real. No. And music, I mean, there's like, when you're singing, it's like you're like crying. Some men that are like singing, I'm like, that's so feminine almost. They're like, whoa, like Neil Young's voice. Do you ever hear Neil Young, like the quintessential rocker?
Singing up there,
yes,
Neil.
yes. Because think about Neil Young, like he's this like amazing rock star that's just heralded as one of the best of his generation or any generation, and he sings like this. He sings like a little. He sings like you think Susan Boyle would sound like. Like he sings like a woman, but we like are like he's such a fucking rocker. So there's something for me that I feel like with comedy, I'm just kind of like it leaves something to be desired for
vulnerability.
Just yeah.
I agree with that. I mean, hey man, I'll trauma dump up there. It doesn't go well.
Yeah, you got to make it funny.
Yeah.
And then if you make it funny, it kind of takes away from the truth of it.
Yeah.
Do you ever say something too real and people are just like,
Yeah.
no, man, we don't relate to that. You should get some help.
You should start marketing some shows as stand-up trauma shows.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where it's like it's not comedy.
I mean, I've cut like a decent chunk of shit out because some of it is just too. Like when I talk about like kids getting beat, like Christian youth in the Midwest, like some of them get it. Others are like,
well, what's your angle? You're talking about like
childhood,
just like getting beat as a kid.
No, not me, but like
he's talking about beating up children.
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
right.
I'm
Okay.
When I pivot to that, they
I thought
love
they would love that. Yeah. Okay.
No, I bring a kid up there and I beat the
Yeah.
fuck out
The
of it.
demonstration is what really.
Yeah. No, I'll just like talk about like my childhood and like how my cousins and stuff would get beat and so and I used to like act some of it out and people would be like, ugh.
You know what? I love that because I feel like that's what I want to go towards is things that people go, you can't talk about that. And it's like, well, that's because getting beat as a kid is so fucking awful. And there are kids getting beat and we do need to talk about it. And we're not making fun of the victims of it. We're talking about it's a thing that's
Unless
happening.
they make a weird noise, then it's funny.
Yeah.
Sorry. Sorry. Continue.
No, I just think that I like that making people uncomfortable with that stuff. Not to just make people uncomfortable, but to
it's actually being vulnerable. It's not like you're not like, hey.
Yeah, I do a whole chunk on pedophilia that it took me. I didn't give up on it because I was like, this is important. People need to know the facts, like because I'm so obsessed with researching pedophiles and like just like how the fuck do these motherfuckers work?
Yeah.
And I wasn't molested, so I can kind of talk about it in a way that I don't think someone that was molested could talk about it. They would be too triggered. It would be too hard for them to be up there. You could sense their trauma, but I can talk about it from this perspective of like, this is what's happening. This is how you can protect your kids. And here's a bunch of jokes on top of it. That's not making fun of the kids being abused, but it's putting it out there. And I have people come up to me after at the meet and greet. We'll be like hugging them, and she's like, "I was molested as a baby. I really appreciated that. Thank you for talking about like." And I'm guessing that's not everyone that feels that way, but I do. I just want people to be able to be like, "I was molested," and it be as normal as like, "Oh, I got spanked as a kid." Like I want it to, because it's not. It's in the same realm of it wasn't your fault. It's a thing that happens so commonly, and it's also something that. I don't know. It's like the biggest get out of jail free card in terms of like any dysfunction you have. Yeah. You just go, I was molested, and people are like, okay, I guess you can be late for work. Or like, like you can, if you were molested and you survived that, and even if you didn't, if you still struggle with it, like you should be able to board planes before veterans. Like that's some like survival shit. Like if you went through that and you got through it to adulthood and you are somewhat of a capable human being, Purple Heart to you, because that is some fucked up shit. And I think that if more people were able to talk about it and just be like, yeah, I was fucking molested. And it's obviously devastating, but a little bit more just like it's something that happened. Like, oh, I was in a car crash. It's the same kind of But it's hard because, and it's especially I can obviously talk about it like that because I wasn't, and it's so triggering for people. But I think part of the way to make things less triggering is to just make them more conversational. Like herpes, I'm always like, I kind of want to get herpes. I don't have it. It's just razor burn that keeps coming back every couple of months, and all my boyfriends get it. But
isn't it like? So you do have it then.
No, it just only flares up.
I think like 90% of people have it. I'm pretty sure.
Like
it's there's still this weird.
I thought I've had it enough that I should have it. Like I don't think I have it, but if I did, I would fucking tell you because I want to normalize it because I want people to not be so freaked out about it and think that it's like the worst thing that could ever happen to them. So I'm kind of like, if I got it, I would tell people. If I get a facelift, I'll tell people. Like, I want to tell people the shit that everyone tries to hide. It's like, I don't know. I'm just tired of celebrities lying about work they've had done, and if I do, I want to be completely transparent. And I know that not everyone likes to live that way, but I just feel like it would benefit people from having some shame.
Yeah.
All right, fine. I'm on steroids. Fine. People
They
keep
aren't
asking.
worth
Fine,
it.
I did get. Fine,
You have to work out when you're on steroids.
I did get my penis reduced. I did.
Yeah, fine.
Yeah, fine.
I got a
made
penis
it,
reduction.
I made it small on purpose.
reduction.
Everyone's asking.
I made it small on purpose to make it fair.
Yeah. I said I was born small. I kept lying about it, and it
I
just.
was born gigantic.
You guys are both the same height, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you
Well,
do you consider yourself a short, guys?
Yes.
Really?
I never used to. Growing up, I was never a thought. Like, I don't know, this whole, like,
Bro, I got
making fun of short.
bullied for
Really?
this.
Really? Maybe it's a
Yeah,
Canadian
dude.
thing. Everyone's like too nice
Oh,
in
really?
Canada to. And also, like, hockey players are short. Like, everyone, all the
Yeah.
cool guys that I knew were short.
Yeah.
Or my height, at least.
Interesting.
So it was always like,
Wow.
if you were taller than me, you were tall, but I didn't see myself as like a short person.
Yeah.
Nah, bro, I got.
I don't see it either. My boyfriend's your height, and he's shorter than me. I think you guys are probably shorter. I'm 5'9", but like he's 5'8.5" or 8 3/4 or something, and
It felt
he grew
derogatory
up.
when you said your height.
I know it did, but I didn't say your race.
Yeah.
You know that would.
Because you don't know what it is.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I can't know. But he much like you, like felt marginalized by it and
Yeah.
felt like it. Man, he would sometimes say like, my life would be so fucking different if I was 5 inches taller. And I'm always
I
just
mean,
like,
we say that all the time.
who would you be dating? Like that's what I'm always like. Who could? And I know
Men?
he could date.
He could take men on.
That's true.
That's why we want to be taller,
right.
so we could finally come out the closet.
I don't know. I feel like he would be dating like a supermodel if he were just taller. But I lucked out that he is not. Because he's super handsome, but he's short. So it's like, I got a hot guy on discount. It is. He would totally be with someone hotter than me.
Damn, that's funny.
Hey man, shouts out to you, man. Shouts out to you.
Yeah.
man.
He's
I guess you
alright.
do get everything secondhand. All right. All right. Well,
Yeah, I got him at Marshall's. It was defective.
oh, I think we're at the end.
Oh my God, this is fun.
Yeah,
you
thank
guys
you
are
so
great.
much for coming on.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for being a part of our diversity guest program.
I'm glad to be the first
more
woman on
months
this show.
before we have another woman.
Yeah. Everybody, Nikki's on tour.
Yeah.
NikkiGlaser.com.
I have a podcast, the Nikki
does have a
Glaser
podcast.
podcast.
Yes.
Check that out.
You can see her on Fboy Island. If you
Yeah,
have an
if that
HBO
gets picked
Max.
up again.
Season 3, I pray.
Yeah, I pray too.
Go pump
But
up
season 1 and 2
so
are
she can
so
get 3.
fucking
They're
good.
good.
Yeah, if you haven't seen them yet, it's not like they weren't topical. You're not gonna like miss any references by going back. They're just good fucking TV. And I don't say that about everything I've ever done. That show though is
It
like
is. It's just genuinely good.
it's bingeable, it's funny, and it's captivating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go check it out. And if you're in Tel Aviv, Nikki
Tell
will
us
be
what
there.
You are.
Yeah.
You're up
Yeah.
in the Middle East.
Yeah.
All right, everybody.
Sorry.
Thanks for tuning in. Goodbye.
This week on the Bone Zone.
You know what? You come do this.
I'm like, we annoy this guy?
I love it.
In what universe?
Yeah.
Those two douchebags still living in their mother's basement? Yeah, no, he instantly looked at us both and he was like, you guys are twinks.
Watch the full episode by signing up for a membership at tmgstudios.tv.